Good morning. This is Matt from the Jalapenos. It's 6:30 a.m. here. We are out in the province, so it's a different part of our trip. We left Pampanga last Monday. It is now Thursday, I believe. After 9 days of traveling around Pampanga, meeting up with people for work or business, networking, but also schools, visiting houses, different subdivisions, but also experiencing some outings in the region of Pampanga and Subic Bay. We came here for the second part of our trip, which is more about visiting family here, because this is where my wife was born actually and grew up. The province life, we stay in a totally different house with family, which is back to the basic, but not in a degrading way. It's humbling, but it's also beautiful. It makes you realize how luxurious your regular home is actually, and how simple life can be here in the province. When we traveled from Pampanga after staying in such an enormous city, because for just some context, Pampanga is a 3 million people city. It's enormous, it's chaotic, it's busy. It has everything that you need and more. It comes shops, amenities, old school parts of the city, new parts of the city. It was both new ground for both me and Judy. We never been to Pampanga before. The subdivision that we stayed in, Solana Frontera, is right in the middle of the city, and that is not something that spoke so much to our heart. The subdivision itself is nice, but way less peaceful than we expected maybe from a subdivision. We both never stayed in one, so we didn't have that big of a context though. But we did fall in love with the area of Clark, which was one of my networking lunches tipped me and showed me around with his car, and that's some place that we really liked. And we mostly like that because it's very green, and the rest of Angeles, it's so congested. It's loads of buildings, loads of roads, not a lot of trees, not a lot of parks whatsoever. And right now, as you could have seen in earlier videos, we live in a very green area in the Netherlands, and that's something that we really like. Also with Theo, to be able to have space to play, but also to have peace of mind, peace in the night, peace and quiet. And in Angeles city center, you can forget about that. That's not happening. Everything's open until late, which is again convenient, but not very peaceful. And when we arrived to the area of Clark, is the upper left part of Pampanga. It's very green, very American. It's also something, I've never been to America. Neat, clean, organized. The roads are good quality. There's loads of options for restaurants. The only thing that was absolutely no part of our plan was to find a house that is a condo, like a high-rise apartment, because in Clark the options for a ground floor house, a row house, whatever you want to call it, there are none, or almost none. So that was a bit of a switch in thought process. But what we also experienced here, because we booked on purposely this time of year, because it's the hottest time in the Philippines. And I said to Judy beforehand of booking, like, let's book the hottest time so I can also experience if that's doable for me as a Dutchie. And I have to say, like in the mornings, like now, it's 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., it's still really nice. In the hottest part of the day, between, let's say, 11:30 a.m. and 3 p.m., it's unbearable for me in the sun, but not just for me. Filipinos are also not staying outside in that time. And the lower late houses on the ground floor, they barely have any yards in subdivisions, because Filipinos, they also don't really stay outside. They don't really reside, they stay inside. They have lanais, which is partly covered areas in case it rains, but the yards in subdivisions around the houses are almost always very small, except for some corner lots, but they're always sold out the first. So the options for those is very limited. But the thought of a condo, it was never part of the plan, but these condos here, especially in Clark, they are really big. They are bigger than regular houses in the Netherlands if it comes to square meters, like between 120 up to 200 square meter condos with 3 or 4 bedrooms. So it is an interesting thought, something we never thought about. But we're really thinking of starting off that way, just for the first year, committing to a rental place, so we can take some time to process and have more time, because the thing we found out is that figuring out a new life here in just 9 days is impossible. So we are really thinking to start off that way, because for us to take more time, the rental contracts here are mostly 12 months upwards, and to commit directly to a house, which might not be what we hoped, because we did find out that the house finishing in the subdivisions, the windows are very flimsy, the doors, they don't shut really well. Just the overall build quality is not that great, and the more people we speak to, they kind of advise just build your own house, so you can choose your finishing, your doors, your windows, your everything. But obviously a house is not built in a month. So starting off in a condo, it has very practical advantages. Clark is a very calm, safe, beautiful, green area, close to business. And if we take a 12-month rental on a condo like that, we have a gorgeous view, you're in a gorgeous area, and you have 12 more months to figure out where exactly you would like to live. And during these 12 months we can more drive around, more than we had a chance to do right now. See what areas we like, see what ticks most of the boxes, because ticking all the boxes is difficult. We'd like a peaceful green area with everything close by, yet not so chaotic. Maybe we have a little bit of an unrealistic checklist, and that's okay. But the most important to us is peaceful, clean, not so noisy, and Clark ticks all of those boxes. It's by far not the cheapest area. I would even say maybe one of the most expensive areas, so renting a condo won't be cheap. But committing for a year, we can take that out of our budget just to have more time. We can have more time to see where exactly we want to enroll Theo for school, because by the time we will be moving, it's March. Theo won't be eligible for school yet, because that starts from 5 years onwards, and he will just be 4 when we arrive here. So we'll have more time for that, more time to pinpoint the housing around the school that we find for Theo, because we had a really good impression with Westfields, which we mentioned in earlier videos. The annual tuition, it's affordable, but the area surrounding Westfields, Porak, yes, it's green, it has magenta nature, beautiful nature close by, but it's prone to flooding. The road leading up to Porak is horrible. We did that a couple of times last week, and kilometers can take you up to an hour. There's just one narrow, very congested road in and out of Porak if you come from Angeles City. That wasn't fun. Thinking of doing that to bring Theo to school daily? No way. So yes, Westfield is still high on the list of schools, but the surroundings, it's just not that convenient. And from Clark to Westfields, I don't know the exact travel time. I don't know if you have to take that road. Well, this is just part of this type of things that you need more time to figure out routes, ways, become more familiar with a big city like this. And we don't want to rush that. We don't want to rush decisions that put us in a spot where we are kind of stuck in a house because either we purchased it or committed long term. And listening to people that are living in Pampanga long term, both Dutch but also Filipino, going Clark, you cannot really go wrong. The apartments are good quality, they say, even for Dutch standards. The community is nice, there's a lot of internationals, everything's there. So that's probably where we'll start off. Where the next steps following that will lead us, we don't really know yet, and that's okay. I have to let go of the fact that you want to fix everything ahead, because one, fixing everything here doesn't go as fast as in the Netherlands. Things are not online as present or fixable via websites, forums, just enrolling yourself here and there. It's just more on the spot, which we knew up front, but a trip of 9 days is not enough, and that's okay. For the rest of the trip here, we are just enjoying here, because we have 5 more days, I believe, 4 or 5 more days here with family, which is really nice. It was 1.5 years since we've seen them. Good seeing them again, having some fun with them, having some outings. Really looking forward to that part as well, because it has been a very busy part. But there is a big bombshell. That bombshell is we already sold our house in the Netherlands. That is a part we absolutely didn't expect before our trip, because we've spoken to our broker, financial advisor, and we were planning on fixing the photos of the house in August, putting it for sale in September. But there was a direct lead that basically came knocking on our door, first by putting a printed message in our mailbox, and later on I put it aside because she was requesting if you want to sell short term, which we're not, because we're moving next year March. So I put it aside, but then via our neighbor she came back online via WhatsApp, with permission to the neighbor obviously, but she placed a bid that we had to consider, and we ended up agreeing, but this all happened in the trip of Pampanga as well. So the trip of Pampanga was not only busy by meetings, schools, seeing subdivisions, housing, exploring the area. Every single day we had to supply documents, consider big choices. Are we gonna sell? Because supposedly after this trip we would have 3 more months-ish to August to decide, are we gonna move forward with this plan? Are we gonna pull the trigger? And all of a sudden, by this bid on the house and everything becoming real, it kind of put us on the spot to make this decision right now. And we did. After considering it for days, talking a lot, both me and Judy, speaking with our financial advisor via video calls, we decided to jump on it. It's a good bid. The house is practically sold. They are making the contract now. So there's no way back. Or we are homeless in March 2026 in the Netherlands. So we're moving forward. Cannot wait for what's the next step. Love to bring you guys along. Please put the subscribe button, follow us for the next, and see if it goes well or if we fail. See you in the next video. Bye bye.